See if I can hear myself talk on that right quick. Alright, here I go. Know your tank. Welcome to the BusOne show. My friend Elon Cross is on. He has a few tanks of his own, but we're not going to be discussing his tanks. We're going to be discussing mine. Say hello, Elon. Today we're going to discuss not the first ops, but the second ops I did and received a tank. Too bad it's not one of these two, but and the essential things. Here's the first one I did and received. This is the second one I did, and it was on this one called the Motherland. The Motherland is a Russian tank, and the ops was the Motherland Cause or the Motherland Fighter, and you had to get so many experience points to receive this tank. I think you had to do, what was it, 100 and what do we have to do? 100 and what was it, 100, maybe 200, maybe 150 XP points. I think it was something like that. And you will receive a tier 8. And this is a tier 8 tank. As you can see, even though it's tier 8, it plays up to tier 10. Has pretty good speed. And it's a medium. It can fight some heavies. It's got pretty good arm in the front. As you can see, my ammunition in regular rounds, it holds 22 regular rounds. It has 5 premium rounds. It has 7 explosive rounds. The only problem that I can see with this tank is sometimes when you get into a real grudge match, if you ever get in trouble where you get past 22 regular rounds, you only got approximately you only got 5 premium and 7 of explosive rounds. So my thing is, whatever you do with this tank, you better make it work for your advantage. But work to your advantage. And that means sneak up around people, wolf packing them, landing your shots, making them count. Because you can't miss too many shots with this tank, you run out of rounds. And I've been in a match where I've actually ran out of rounds. And regular rounds, so you have to pay attention with this tank. As you can see, I have the gun rammer on, I have the ventilation, and I have the extra insulation, so if something happened, the extra inner armor, so it won't so it make it hard for them to ammo rack or set me on fire, even though you still can. Tanks can only take so much. But let's get a schematics on what's on the inside. Alright, and on the front, the tank approximately has 120 meters in the front. It has 180 on the top turret. It has 90 on the sides, 120 on the sides on the turret, 45 on the backside on the bottom, 75 on the top. As I said before, you have 22 rounds of regular rounds, you have 5 of premium, and you have 7 of explosive rounds. Also, if you notice, I talked about the gun ram and the ventilation and the extra liner inside to help with your armor. Also, the consumables. I always tell you to take your kits with you, like repair, and especially, I tell these guys all the time, take your fire extinguisher with you, and then your first aid kit. As you can see, it shows all the guns, and the 100mm gun has a T54 tread. This was a T54 prototype, But we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna go back out and I'm gonna show the upgrade to y'all. The upgrade, Motherland has a T54. It was the first prototype, and it has a Tier 8 turret, and then it has a Tier 7 100mm D10 TK cannon. It has a V44 engine, which is a Tier 6. It has a T54 tracks, which is a Tier 8, and then it has a Tier 9 radio. So this is the Motherland. This is the rundown of the Motherland, and yes, it is premium. Yes, it is a premium. So for those that think they slick and I don't know what I'm talking about, that's a premium, baby. All right, my other premium that I received not too long ago for doing another ops would be, we call this one the Cadillac. It is a French tank. It's called the CDC. I love this tank because of the speed, but they have another name for it. We call it the Cadillac, but they call it paper thin because the armor is not that thick. But if you can see all the stats, it's pretty fast. It has a pretty much a lot of armor. I mean, not an armor, but a lot of for weaponry. It has a lot of slugs with it. And you have 77 regular rounds, which is and then you have 0 of the premiums that come with it, and you have 18 of the explosive round. It is actually called the AMX CDC, and there's an ops for it. You had to get somewhere around 170 to almost, was it 200? Somewhere around there. You had to do so many XP points to get this tank. Details will show you it's 30 millimeters in the front, 30 millimeters on the front top, 20 millimeters on the bottom, 20 millimeters on the top side, 20 millimeters on the back, 20 millimeters on the bottom side also. So yes, this is a problem for this tank. And I'm gonna have to go back to the Motherland because I forgot some of the things I like to read on my schematics. Hit points is 1400 in the cannon. Speed, it gets up to 57 kilometers. Acceleration is 1200. Chassis rotation is 40. Turret rotation is 38. The rate of fire is 8.22. And the way you can speed that up, and I hadn't done it, and I might do it, is to add a gun rammer to it, and it'll cut the time down to like 7, or right at 7.5, or right at 8, or maybe shorter than that. But the range is 390. Camouflage is at average. As you can see, the premium and the what's called. I also carry the camouflage to help it a little bit more. And like I said before, carry those as fire extinguishers. And don't forget the kits. I'm gonna have to jump back over to the Motherland. So I jump back on the Motherland. The hit points on the Motherland was 1300. The speed was at 44. Acceleration at 520. Chassis rotation was 42. Turret rotation is 40. The rate of fire was 7.50 rounds per minute. View range was 360. This joker right here, you really don't have to throw a camo net on it unless you really want to, but it is a pretty stealthy tank because it's low center of gravity and it's above average. So if you threw camo on top of it and add some other essentials to that tank, it can ambush. This tank could be really, really dangerous to other teams that you play against, because then you can pop up on them like Jack in the Box. You know, you can fire from cover and all that stuff. So that's some things I may need to work on. But for me, I have a mentor, I have a smooth ride, and I have the Sixth Sense. So I think once I rank this up again, I think I'm going to go back to the elements of camouflaging and using something like, I may use something else and change up my thing on the inside to make it a little bit better. So that's one of the tanks that I got in the ops. But last but not least, this is the latest, was the hammer tank, and you had to do the hammer challenge. You know, I just talked about the CDC and the motherland. This is the latest one, the hammer. The Tiger Hammer is a German tank, and very powerful. It is not a medium-sized tank. It is a heavy, and it's a tier 7. This thing packs a wallop. As you notice, it carries 58 regular rounds. I don't have any premium rounds, and it carries 14 explosive rounds. The details is on the tank, and his armor is 100 millimeter in the front, 100 on the top side for the turret, 80 on the sides, 80 on the side of the turret, same in the back and the bottom of the rear. So, you know, top side 80, bottom side 80. You really don't want to take no shots in most tanks from the rear. You want to try to take them from the front, but then again, you really don't want to take them at all. This tank is below average, so in order to help this tank out, I do have the camouflage net, and we'll probably add some more things that will help it, like muzzle shot, engines, running silent engine, stuff like that. So it will help this tank. I also have the large gun rammer. I do have ventilation. I do have the repair kits and stuff, but I do not go anywhere without my fire extinguisher, because some people, not too long ago, got in a match and a guy caught on fire. And he just, we said he gonna put the fire out. He didn't have a fire extinguisher, so we just looked at him like, really? So I said to you again, carry your fire extinguisher. Let's go back out, and I'll look at the upgrades for this tank. The hammer has an 8-tier turret. It has a 8-tier cannon. It has an 8-tier motor, and a 7-tier track, and a 6-tier radio. This tank right here, unlike the CDC and the and I didn't talk about those. I did talk about them, but I forgot to say those two are tier 8s, the CDC and the Motherland, and they can play up to tier 10s. This tank right here is a tier 7. It can play up to tier 9s. I think if I'm not wrong. Yes, tier 9s. And it's a pretty good tank. It takes somewhat a beating and can deliver some punishing shots. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy BusOne Show, knowing your tanks. And on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace to you. And this is BusOne Show, knowing your tanks, part 2. Holla at you.